Straight down low tide, 72 degrees at 7:44, August 18th, and the sign says thunderstorms. Usually it's wrong, but I think today it's right. It's accurate, and by popular demand, it's no longer out the door with T-Rex and TK and more. It's with T-Rex and Steve for weather and more. What do we have going on? Not a breath of wind. It is wet underfoot. That's drizzle and fog last night. Wow. What does it mean when the spider webs are all like this? I think it means that summer's almost over. I'm not sure what it means. That weather stick could not be pointing any more down than it is. Down is not good usually. And the weather is not good over Connecticut right now. Tremendous tall clouds. We call them overshooting tops to 45,000 feet, just about up to the tropopause. And those are the kind of clouds that can generate not only severe weather, but also possible tornadoes. Sure enough, not even done editing, 8:38 a.m. and a tornado warning over Narragansett Bay. That cell's headed right for us. Should be interesting. So yes, thunderstorms are crossing New England right now, probably faster than I can get this edit out the door. So no wind right down here on the ground. Looks like there may be a bit of an east-southeast out there. Boats are kind of pointing every which way. Anyone want to identify that new egret? Not the snowy egret, but I guess if it's not snowy, then it's not an egret, right? So we have a heron waiting for the fish to come to it. There are fish working out there, I can see them, but let's stick with the fog and low clouds. This is classic for a warm front. Warm front is right over us right now, and these thunderstorms are going along a 1004 millibar low on this warm front. The wave on a warm front is always tricky business, and the primary low is again sub 1000 millibars, 999 over Ontario. So what we have today, let's look at the 500 millibar flow, I guess. On the back side of this trough, air coming from the Arctic Circle. On the front side of this trough, air coming from the Tropic of Cancer. So you have polar air and tropical air meeting right over us. That's the battle of the air masses, and that's what creates heavy weather. This heavy weather is running out ahead of the main cold front. So we're going to have most of the shower and thunderstorm activity this morning. Some spots are getting inches of rain. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get, but I don't think it's going to be an inch. It's going to move fairly quickly. Severe storms. The threat is probably done by about lunchtime or so today, and we will get some breaks of sun. The cooler air not rushing right in this afternoon, but tonight and tomorrow, dew point's going to go from, what is it, in the upper 60s right now to the 50s tomorrow. Gorgeous weather, but that upper low does linger here, and there's going to be some instability in the atmosphere, so cumulus clouds will be developing with some showers and maybe even a thunderstorm with some small hail up toward the Canadian border. Just a chance of a shower in southern New England. It's Falmouth Road Race weekend, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Dr. Crystal Piper is going to be doing the road race. Timeout. We've got a hummingbird. They move so fast. He's gone. And it looks beautiful. 10 o'clock in the morning in Falmouth. It looks like it's going to be about 72 degrees with a dew point of 58. Blazing sunshine, though. Not sure. I think it's a loop. Air is going to be coming in from the west, southwest. Probably not that strong. So while you're running toward the sun, there'll be a bit of a headwind. But it looks like a beautiful weekend, especially Cape Cod and the islands, because most of the instability shower is going to stay north. Check out the Boston forecast. You see the temperature jumping back up into the 80s by Sunday, still relatively low humidity. And then Monday is a sticky one. So let's go to the surface maps. There's the upper low, about 1,004 milling around in northern Maine. We've been talking about that. It's going to take off probably Sunday night, Monday. Then we have high pressure to the south. That's warm west wind with a thickness of 570 to 576. So somebody may touch 90 here late Sunday into Monday before a backdoor cold front. That's pretty serious looking backdoor cold front. I call it backdoor because instead of the cold front coming from New York, it comes from Maine into southern New England. The air comes from the north and even the northeast on Tuesday. And that looks like mostly a dry frontal passage. And then high pressure in eastern Canada is going to dominate for a few days. As for that heavy rain, it's been kind of going back and forth on Tuesday or Wednesday, it's gone. Poof. And as Tuesday and Wednesday gets closer, your confidence gets higher. But we've had very low confidence 7-day forecasts lately. But for now, it looks pretty good all the way into perhaps next weekend. And once again, that air from Canada is hurricane repellent for us. All eyes this morning on Hillary. Category 4, verging on a Category 5 hurricane off Baja Peninsula, moving toward the north, toward California. Tropical depression headed to Idaho. Don't see that one very often. Yeah, there's an upper level low, cool pool aloft in the eastern Pacific Ocean steering Hillary. Let's look at the Atlantic. I'll show you Hillary's precipitation in a second. The Atlantic Ocean's all lit up with the rainbow of colors. So all of a sudden it's going to be very active with perhaps 2 to maybe 4, probably 2 or 3 named storms. The lead runner is probably coming across the Caribbean and into Texas. Looks like Sunday night or Monday, so that's pretty short notice. Hopefully it doesn't have time to develop too much. T-Rex, we're talking about hurricanes here. People care. Stop. Okay? All right? Is New England going to get a hurricane, T-Rex? Well, not in the next 2 weeks, but we're definitely vulnerable. All this rain we've had all season. Look, you're tying up Steven. Steven, I don't call him, never call him Steve. Steve's all tied up, but is he barking? No, Steve is fine. Can we get back to the hurricanes, please? It's pretty serious. Let's look after the Texas one at the Caribbean forecast. Looks like a system's trying to come into Hispaniola around, I don't know, the middle of next week or so. And then that does intensify. That definitely looks like a hurricane going and stalling between the Bahamas and Hispaniola late next week. So that would not be a problem for us. No surf either. Our air continues to come from Canada. You look at the 14-day forecast from the European model. One of the nicest ones you can get for this time of year. Temperature peaks there on Monday and then drops down. So much for heat next week. Forget about it. Forget about it. And not much rain either. Did you pick next week for a vacation? It looks awesome. So we just have to weather today. And it's primarily weather the focus today. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't really have any and more. I've been burning myself out editing all those and more segments. So just weather the next 6 hours and then looks pretty good. There's always going to be a surprise though. So we'll talk about the potential surprises tomorrow. The Arthur Walker Association picnic tomorrow, 2 to 3. I'll be slinging burgers and dogs, and it looks great. All right. Happy weekend. Talk to you later. And more. Rex wants to go to the neighbors. They're all tied around all these things, and Steve doesn't know what to do. He's all tied up here. All jammed up, Steve. You're all jammed up. If I free you, you'll take off. So that's not happening. So I'll untangle you, and we'll see where you want to go. All right, you're free now, Steve. Ready? Come on. Oh no, you're still tangled with T-Rex. You're all tangled up with your fur. There you go. All right, when Steve is on walkabout, he loves to go watch the hummingbirds. Where'd that hummingbird go? I have never made a video of a hummingbird at my house before. We had them in California when I was there last winter. You may remember that. If you're new to the station, you never know what you're going to see. All these peppers, look at the peppers, tomatoes, and some big tomatoes down there too. Did I get any rain? This is the in. Oh, there's a bunny. Steve, there's a bunny. Drizzle added up to 0.03. Pumpkins are getting bigger by the day. And the bunny rabbits have discovered some of my big tomatoes. They can have that one. I'm taking this one. Got a ton of them. All right. How's that for and more today? State of the garden. Put that in the windowsill. It should be okay, although anytime you get a hole like that, flies are going to try and penetrate. So leave this someplace other than the kitchen sink window. Like maybe and porch. Half hour later, the downpours are just about on us, coming in from the south-southwest, but look at the boats pointed toward the northeast. Low level air is sucking in from the northeast into these storms. That's incredible shear, because high up in the sky, the air is from the southwest at 50 to 60 miles per hour. Steve, we're gonna go inside, all right? Do you mind? It's about to downpour, and I'm not coming out in the rain to get you, but I might come back out in the rain for a little bit of more and more. You know what I'm saying? More and more. Nope, Steve, this way. Usually listens pretty good. Come on, Steve. Come on. Going inside. Yep. Almost like a dog. Yeah. Paw prints. Whenever you see me out the store and you see paw prints on my shirt, that's the reason why. He just doesn't want to go in. Yeah.